The Descendants franchise has had many villains since it first aired in 2015. We've seen various villains from Maleficent and the other villain parents to the core four, Uma, and the pirates. One thing we've learned is that bad people can be good and good people can also be bad. We also noticed that through it all, Mal was at the center of everything. Was she taking all of us for a ride? Welcome to Riveted. And here are 10 reasons and fan theories to prove that Mal was the villain all along. Number 10, Mal was born evil. It's possible that her wicked mother made her evil, but it's also possible that the evil never left her. In the prequel novel Isle of the Lost, it is stated that Maleficent became the official ruler of the Isle of the Lost. She had a moment of weakness with an unknown human male and gave birth to her daughter, Mal. Note that she didn't believe in Mal from the day she was born, and Maleficent always felt that her daughter wasn't evil enough. In fact, Mal would only know her full name upon proving that she was evil like her mother. Maleficent is generally described as an evil, cold-hearted fairy who can curse an innocent baby just because she was not invited to the christening ceremony. Well, the apple didn't fall far from the tree because we also saw Mal snatching a lollipop from a baby. Mal has always done her best to prove to her mother that she was evil. Yes, she supposedly became good, but Mal's selfishness was evident in the franchise, proving there was still some evil left in her. 9. It's always about Mal. Mal is described as a sneaky, smart, and ruthless girl who is a natural-born leader and skilled at artistic things, especially spray paint. Though she is compassionate, she is also vengeful and doesn't forgive others easily. She also has a knack for casting spells, but only if needed. The Descendants franchise has always been about Mal, even though she's almost an equal to the rest of the VKs. Unlike the other VKs, fans have always felt that Mal is selfish and likes everything to go her way. Since her dad is Hades, she is a demi-goddess, but it is unknown what goddess power she has. It is known that she can use Hades' Ember, although not to the same level as her godly father. If she controls Hades' Stone and her mom's staff, she is the most powerful person in their world. Such power can easily make someone oppress other people, and we haven't seen Mal being oppressive yet, but it's definitely bound to come. Number 8. Ben never knew why Mal cast a spell on him. In Descendants 1, Mal gave Ben a love cookie because the VKs wanted to steal the wand as they were directed by their parents. Mal used psychology to trick Ben into eating the cookie by making him think he doesn't trust a treat offered by the child of a villain. Ben assumed that Mal gave him the cookie because she liked him. What if deep inside her intention was to break Audrey and Ben up and stealing the wand only came as a bonus? At that time, Ben was with Audrey and Mal knew that her relationship with Ben wouldn't work, so she gave him a love cookie. Well, eventually she ended up with Ben, but she's never come clean to Ben about why she cast a spell on him. Quite a heavy secret to keep, especially from the man who proposed to her. In Descendants 2, she manipulated Ben further by making him feel bad for her having to act a certain way instead of the way she was used to, kind of setting him up to accepting that behavior. 7. Mal felt no remorse for Lonnie. Well, she was never one to show remorse, but her time in Auradon supposedly changed her. However, when she showed no remorse for Lonnie, it proved that the darkness still lived inside her. The core four were disappointed when a tear of true sadness was the only ingredient missing to successfully bake the cookies. Lonnie decided to bother Mal because other girls wanted Mal to transform their hair. In her presence, Mal revealed that the parents on the Isle of the Lost never showed them anything like love before. Lonnie remembered when her mother made her cookies whenever she was sad and began to cry. Mal pretended to kindly wipe it away and flicked the tear into the cookie batter. While still on Lonnie, let's also take a moment to rant about how she never got a mention on Descendants 3. Oops, everyone was busy making sure that the franchise was all about Mal, including Mal. 6. Mal eventually brought down the barrier. The main goal for the villains in D1 was to bring down the barrier so that they could freely use their powers and hopefully conquer the world. Mal and her friends went against their parents and decided to be good instead. In Descendants 2, Uma also wanted to bring down the barrier, but Mal adamantly refused. In D3, she promised to bring it down even though it wasn't the best choice. Mal may have been plotting all along on how to break the barrier and still have everyone on her side, and she succeeded. As Queen of Auradon, she has the power to command the people in Auradon, and the people in the Isle of the Lost will adore her forever for bringing down the barrier. Number 5, not doing anything to help her mother. Yes, Maleficent turned into the size of the love in her heart because of her selfishness, but why didn't Mal do anything to help get her back? Maleficent is seen briefly in her lizard form inside a terrarium in Mal's room, and is last seen being put in a box by Mal when she returns to the Isle of the Lost. What if she wanted Maleficent out of the way for good so that she could finally rule? Well, it was the initial plan after all. Now she's a ruler, but without her mother by her side. The fairy godmother said in the first movie that Maleficent could be redeemed like her daughter, yet Mal never tried to help her mother redeem herself. 4. Her love for Ben may be a sham. In the first Descendants movie, Mal accidentally falls in love with Prince Ben. What if it was part of her plan all along to make people believe that it was an accident? We've already established that it's possible for her to manipulate Ben because he's genuinely in love with her. While still at it, let's reflect on how there was barely any chemistry between Mal and Ben, especially in D2 and D3. For a couple which was supposedly deep in love, they never showed enough affection. Well, some may argue that it's a Disney project and they try not to have PDAs. During the coronation party, Mal and Ben danced together and almost kissed. In D2, they kissed maybe once or twice, and it was worse in Descendants 3. Well, they didn't look like they were deeply in love, and there are two reasons we could come up with for this. The first one is because they were on the set with Thomas Dougherty, who is Dove's sweetheart in real life. They probably didn't want to make things awkward. The second reason is that Mal never really loved Ben, and she only used him to become queen. We want to believe that Dove is a professional actor who wouldn't let her feelings interfere with her work, so we're going to go with the second reason. Mal's love for Ben was probably fake, and she only accepted him because it was the only way to become queen. 3. Disney teased it. When Disney was releasing teasers on who could be the main villain in Descendants, they released a teaser on Mal's darkness. Wow, it looks like they had also thought about actually having her as the real villain. Maybe they were just trying to tell us something by releasing the teaser. She was the only one who would have gone from evil to good and back to evil again, and it's probably because she's never been good in the first place. We never got to see her darkness in the movie, but the teaser really left fans with a lot of questions. In another teaser, we saw dark magic which destroyed everything in Auradon. Surprisingly, the dark magic went from purple to black, and we all know that purple was Mal's trademark color. Well, it could have been Maleficent's, but since she was already trapped in a box as a lizard, the dark energy must have originated from Mal. Number 2. Mal has a very evil past. In Descendants' Wicked World, it's noted by fans that something bad almost always happens every time Mal used magic despite being skilled in the film. At times, whenever she was stressed or agitated, her eyes glowed green. Okay, we understand that villains are supposed to be bad, but it's quite surprising that the other villain kids started off relatively neutral, while Mal was evil since she was little. Mal enjoyed coming up with wicked schemes, and she was the most feared on the Isle because of her reputation. She may look like she really loves Evie, but she made Evie suffer when they were younger. Mal and Carlos hosted a party on Mal's orders, and she decided to play a dangerous prank on Evie for her school project at Cruella's house while she was away. She locked Evie in Cruella's coat closet, and Mal was very disappointed when Evie came out of the closet unscathed. Secretly, she knew that whoever touched the scepter would be cursed with an enchanted 1,000-year sleep, but she wanted Evie to touch it as her revenge. And number 1, it's so easy for Mal to lie. Most people who find it very easy to lie always have something fishy going on in their lives. When Mal lied to her friends, fans were convinced that she must have lied about other things as well. It's not a secret that Mal has always been very bright, and she might have used her intelligence to manipulate her friends. Remember when she got every answer in Remedial Goodness right by picking the answer that sounded the least fun for villains? She could even guess Remedial Goodness was newly invented for villain kids. Her friends always supported and gladly accepted when she took the lead. Evie was especially very loyal to Mal. When Ben asked Mal on a date, Mal accepted, and Evie helped her to get ready. However, it was very easy for Mal to lie to her best friends and the people who would help her defeat evil. Mal lied to Evie and told her that was the royals who were thinking about making solutions. Evie, not imagining that her friend would lie, said that it was great that Mal would be queen because she'd be part of the decisions and give a voice to the kids who are being left behind. Of course, it makes sense that she would always want Evie by her side because Evie is also a genius. What do you think? Do you believe that Mal was the real villain throughout the Descendants franchise? Comment down below and remember to subscribe to Riveted because we publish videos on all your favorite shows and characters daily.